Hey, what's up, Mad Lakers for Life? Duncan here, and I want to talk about the Anthony Davis trade, what it's going to take, and how we plan on building a championship level roster with Anthony Davis on board. So, first, I'm going to start by saying like the channel, subscribe to it, hit that bell for notifications, and let everybody know that I'm here and we're talking Lakers. So, in order to get Anthony Davis, I guarantee it's going to cost us Lonzo, Ingram, and Kyle Kuzma. That seven and a half million for Lonzo, 5.5 for Ingram, and Kuzma's a 1.5, I believe, is going to run you right around 7.5, 8, 13, about 14 million off of that. Now deduct that 14 million off of Anthony Davis, give them the fourth overall pick with it. Suddenly you have the 25 million, 14 off, so you're looking at about 11 million off of the $48 million cap. So right there you're looking at roughly around 37 million left. Okay, now you got $37 million left, but you can't just go spending it all in one place. So I started targeting players who I thought would want to come play for the Lakers or want to have a chance at winning the championship. So here's what I did. The first player I went to talk to was Kemba Walker. Now everybody's going to scream Kyrie, but here's the thing. Kemba has yet to win a championship. He's yet to go deep into a playoff run. He has a desire to win a championship. He could see LA with LeBron and Anthony Davis as a legitimate title contender. Now, you sign him up for a 4-year plan worth about $20 million a year, and you explain to him. Or, wait, excuse me. You get Kemba, you get him on board, explaining that, him, AD, LeBron, get him on board for a few years. But instead of the 4-year, offer him a 2-year, $50 million. Okay, give him the option to re-sign in 2 years with a $20 million payable on the first year. Now, that'll take our cap down to $14 million still to spend. We'll have Kemba Walker, LeBron James, Anthony Davis on board. Now, the next player I want to go after is the Lance Stevenson. I believe, one, he really enjoyed playing for the Frank Vogel system. I think he was pretty good in it, and he knows it could win. He was a game away from an NBA Finals under Frank Vogel the first time in Indiana, and knowing that LeBron's on the team, knowing that Kemba Walker's on the team, knowing that Anthony Davis is on the team, he could take a minimum to come play for us, simply because he sees the Lakers as a place he can play, will play, and he knows the system, and they could potentially win a championship. I believe he'd come back no more than $5.5 million. He would sign for 1 more year to come back to play. Same with McGee. I think JaVale McGee is not wanting to move. I think he's quite content playing 14 minutes a game, 15 minutes a game. I think McGee coming back on a minimum or a $6 million contract would give the Lakers the ability to slide Anthony Davis over to power forward, McGee at center, LeBron at small forward. And at that point, the Lakers can continue to pull out all-stars onto that roster. JaVale McGee, he's a solid rebounder, solid shot blocker, and he's one of the best pick-and-roll finishers in the game. Him coming off the bench would be unreal for the Lakers, and it's quite possible he could re-sign with the Lakers for next to nothing, just so he doesn't have to leave, just so he has a chance to win, and just so he could play on this team. The next is a guy that I'm sure a lot of people are going to question me about, but it's Dragan Bender. Okay? Bender, he's an outstanding three-point shooter. He's a decent, well, not really. He's good at a lot of other things, and he's not so great at a lot of other things. But he's a great three-point shooter. And at this point, we need catch and shoot shooters. Guys like LeBron, who LeBron can kick out to. Having a guy in that fit forward position, that's 7 foot tall, who can shoot the threes consistently, who can get some rebounds, who can block a few shots, that would be quite useful. Getting him for $2.5 million would be easy, considering, again, he has a chance between going to Phoenix, who's never been out of the basement in his entire career, or going to a Lakers team that is completely full of stars. He's probably going to go to the Lakers, and I'm sure he would take a discount to play for us, even if it's limited minutes. But he's still young, and he still has the potential to get better. So, next, I want to use the mid-level exemption on DeMarre Carroll, who, again, is a guy that he's looking in the later half of his career. He's getting a little older now. He's yet to really compete for a title. Having him come on board for next to little to nothing would give him a position to be a serious starter for the Lakers' limited funds. And at that point, now you're looking at a team where DeMarre Carroll comes in. He's an all-star potential. He can score. He can shoot. Plays a little defense. I mean, that right there would be ideal. Having never won a ring, having a desire to get a ring, he would probably come in for less than $10 million, and he'd probably join. So let's talk about my starters now. My starters are Kemba, Lance Stevenson, DeMarre Carroll, LeBron, and AD. Okay, that's a pretty solid 5. My bench would be Alex Caruso, Josh Hart, Bullock, who I'd bring back with bird rights, Mo Wagner, and McGee. Again, pretty solid bench. Even if AD slides over to the power forward, LeBron to the small forward, and you go Carroll or Hart shooting guard. I mean, there's many different ways you can juggle this around. My reserves are Bonga, Bender, Jones, and Williams. All really young, talented players that are still learning as they go. They have a huge upside, but they haven't quite developed into what we really want them to be at this point. So let's talk about what I've managed to grab on this for limited, for what we have. Okay, so first is Kemba. He's an all-star point guard, a score first, a 20-point a night guy. He's a really decent shooter, 3-point shooter. He's decent at, but what makes him special is his clutch. He nails a lot of last-second shots, whether it be the last second on the shot clock, whether it be the last second in the half, the quarter, or the game. He finds a way to make that last-second shot, and you can't go wrong with a point guard that can do that. Not to mention that he can drive straight to the hoop, which takes a lot of the pressure off of guys like LeBron or even Anthony Davis in there. Defenses aren't going to be able to adjust to every scoring option on that starting 5. So right there, he's well worth whatever it is we're going to get him for. Now, Bender, as I stated, he's primarily a shooter. He's a guy that's going to come off the bench in limited minutes, and he's going to drain threes for us. He's going to stretch the defense out. He's going to give us that possibility. He might even play a little small forward in a Twin Peaks-like system. He's a decent rebounder and a good spot-up shot blocker. But he's very young, and he still has a lot to mature into.